So good afternoon. This is Judge Alyssa Perez resuming the criminal docket for the 210th District Court for March 29, 2022. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Marufo, would you call our next case, please?
Yes, ma'am. On Mr. Fabian, 2021-0D01343 and 2021-0D01564, State of Texas versus Fabian Gallardo. Announcement of counsel, please.
Mr. Martinez, ready for the State of Texas on all cases.
Mr. Lozano, we have Mr. Fabian Gallardo ready to proceed, Your Honor.
And Mr. Gallardo is appearing from the jail annex. Thank you for taking care of Mr. Gallardo today as he was an add-on. I believe defense had filed a motion for continuance because let me see, we have an upcoming trial date. It's actually our backup trial date of April 7th and 8th. Yes, defense filed a motion for continuance on March 21st. And so we needed to schedule the hearing just for scheduling purposes, because I know for the court, we have several cases except for that day, but I know Mr. Gallardo's trials were pretty much top of the list there. So I wanted to get a handle on what it is. I believe defense motion basically just said needed additional time to prepare for trial. So what's going on, Mr. Lozano?
Yes, Your Honor. And that actually was my mistake. We should have included another reason, which was that we are picking a jury on indecency case out of JPD on April 1st. We already had the outcry hearing last week, so we're the only ones scheduled in that day. We've already received jury sheets, and so with the amount of jurors are bringing in, basically Friday's just picking the jury and starting on Monday. So we don't believe we'll be done in time to be ready for this one, Your Honor.
Okay. And so I take it where I thought at one point, at least at the end of the year, we were at some hope at a disposition other than a trial. So that's not going to happen. We're still at a trial, right?
Your Honor, my understanding, and this is from my discussions with Mr. Carmona and Ms. Martinez, that there was some back and forth. However, at the end of the day, I think Mr. Gallardo wishes to proceed with his right to a jury trial.
Okay. Ms. Martinez, it's your case.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct, Your Honor. Mr. Carmona and Mr. Lozano and I have been talking, going back and forth. I had given an original rec, and Mr. Carmona had come back with what he had said the defendant would take, but things have changed, and so we understand that. We're still open to a counter if that's something that they want to propose. We can definitely consider it.
Okay. Obviously, with that type of conflict, that was something that was not in the motion is going to be problematic. But I honestly, I don't want to push this back much further. So my only question would really be with the new reset, I think I would look at something very quickly, like April 22nd. Can y'all look at your schedules?
Yes, ma'am. I do know that one of the primary officers on the SWAT call-out case is on FMLA until 4/28. And then the lieutenant of SWAT, I've pre-trialed them. He will be out the first week in May. So we would be available as soon as the second or third week in May.
The only thing that may get in the way on that first week in May is I do have an inmate that's going to trial out of the 243rd, and this is also one that Judge Solis said we were number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So
what's the date on that?
That's May 5th, Your Honor.
And that's the week our lieutenant is out of town.
Your Honor, can I ask a question, please?
Is that Mr. Gallardo?
Oh,
Okay.
Mr.
Hold on, Mr. Gallardo. So you telling me you couldn't make May 13? Be tight. Was it May 13?
And Your Honor, I'm sorry, it's Officer Gonzalez that's on FMLA. We would be available May 13th. The only person I would have to check with is the witness that we're flying in. He's the 911 caller.
Yeah, if it's not May 13th, then it has to be June 17th.
Caesar, what do you think?
Well, just because it's further out, we do have much more leeway there.
So I'm going to put both. Again, I'm going to special set both and just do the June as a backup. Okay, if you find out that it is cutting too close, or then, you can file an additional motion for continuance then, and I'll just put that, with what we know now. And then please check on any other conflicts or availability issues, but we'll go with those two. So May 13th, I want to make sure I have those right. Final hearing plea deadline, May 10th. And then June 17th, which will have a June 14th.
Judge, could we have like a status before the May, since we are flying in a witness, just to kind of see, are we really going on that one, or are we heading towards June? Would that be
Sure,
okay?
we can do April 26th, final judges.
Thank you.
Is that enough? Is that enough? We'll do that.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Judge-
Mr. Lozano, or are you gonna say something?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I just wanted to let, if I may, use this time or opportunity to let Mr. Gallardo know that Mr. Carmona is going to go see him tomorrow. So any questions or anything he needs to or wants to say, he can tell Mr. Carmona tomorrow.
I don't have a problem if you all need a quick breakout room. We don't have a very busy docket today. Do you want that, Caesar?
Is that what you want, Mr. Gallardo?
Yes, please.
Okay, very quickly, okay? Mr. Marufo, we can go ahead and get off of YouTube and then put him in the breakout room.